Hello, this is Bobby on CondorTV Repair with a video now for two boards that were sent to us from a customer. I think the name is somewhere here, CondorTV. We repaired both of them. This is a video that's showing both of them working along with some commands that the customer will need. This board doesn't have any unique identifier. I don't even know the exact model, but I'm focusing on a few marks. This video is intended for customers' use. It's not going to tell you how to fix boards, but it's going to tell a few things about what we've done and therefore what may have tends to go bad and other things. Basically, if you're watching that, you're probably not going to learn a lot unless you are the customer first. This is intended. A few unique marks again, just to show that the board that they will receive is the same as the one on this video. Here is the video underneath with a standard setup media player. This is the media player as with all our videos, powered through USB, fitting HDMI 1. As you will see on the form, two Vizio boards malfunctioning, flash IC, etc, etc. On one of them the EEPROM was replaced with a board that was ours. Original IC put back. Both had EEPROMs replaced. This one is not closed yet because I wanted to show a few things. Both EEPROMs, in my opinion, were not done well. You can see some torn legs here at the end. That does not matter, meaning those legs do not really participate and are not being used in the operation of the EEPROMs, and this is not fatal, but it basically shows that it wasn't done well. And some of the legs are on the verge of actually not being soldered well. Here on the, sorry, it's just too small. Here on the right side, I don't know. It doesn't really matter whether they are soldered well because they're not being used, very much like the ones on the other side. But nevertheless, you know, when you do it right, you just do it right for all of them. Both of them were not soldered well. It's just my personal opinion. Somebody may disagree, that is fine. One of the boards, though, this one, also somebody had made an attempt to reflow the processor, and it was stuck underneath with a lot of flux, and that was a major problem. It was definitely not done right. We had to replace the whole processor, and we probably wouldn't have had to do that if it wasn't the party that had tried to repair it before us. This is why we surcharge for repairing such boards. On the other one, in addition to what was wrong with the board, we also had to redo the EEPROM, very much like here. I don't know whether this is ours or the other one. We left both EEPROMs that were originally on the boards there. We didn't have to replace any one of them, we just have to resolder them. And in this case, we also had to replace this whole processor and make it clean underneath. This is the board that is currently working. I'm gonna turn it off, and I could have explained all that while actually it would be the other one would be powering on. I'm going to put it carefully here. The other one, it's not closed yet. I wanted to show both the processor and the main and the EEPROM before we do before we close it. We're going to test it like that. It's very important that you insert this cable really carefully and even on both sides, and do it while the board is not working. Now it can start working. I will also need, for the sake of testing it, to be able to power it on. That's why I need the IR. I also want to show that it works, so I need a signal. In the meantime, the board must be blinking here. You can see where it blinks, and it will soon stop blinking, at which point I'm going to get a remote. This is the remote. Is it done? No, it's still blinking. Oh, I think it's done. So at this point I'm going to put the remote. It reflects from the ceiling, goes back down. And Vizio logo shows up, and short initialization. This startup may take different amount of time for different EEPROMs. Okay, apparently we're not on HDMI 1, so let's pull it. Where are we on TV? Going down, down, down to HDMI 1. There we go. Volume was way up, and I want to make sure this is not a defect. I want to turn off the TV. It's unusual for a volume to be high up. After we test them, we don't leave them there. So I want to make sure that I can turn off the TV and then turn it on again, and that it will remember the volume setting, because sometimes, very rarely, I would say one or twice out of hundreds of boards, I have seen a case where the TV just wouldn't remember. It wasn't the volume, it was the input on which it was left. But apparently the block where it stores that information was defective. So okay, it did remember the volume. It stays at 18 now. So I just restarted the TV. Sorry for the narrow view here, but you can see we have a table with a pretty small opening because we care for whether it works or not. So we're gonna put that back together and send invoice, and once we receive payment, the boards can be on their way. We will be overcharging compared to the standard advertised price because both boards were worked on, and we had to deal with issues that were induced by humans, mainly dust. The biggest and the hardest of them was just replacing the whole processor. Redoing the EEPROMs, we didn't have to replace them. They're the original ones that we sent to here. But as explained in articles and other videos, when we have to spend more time, we have to charge more. It's as simple as that. Luckily, it's not much more for you. Thank you.